Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Happy New Year's. I hope you're feeling as rested and inspired as I am after a bit of a break and ready to attack this year with lots more production is my plan. And today I just need to get the ball rolling. Actually, I filmed a video last week and I didn't quite give it the right energy, so I'm back in the studio today and I'm just going to make a track from scratch. I've got an hour on the clock and some samples I kind of prepared earlier. Just a small playlist. Something I love to do is just create sort of 20 or 30 sounds, maybe some chords and some effects, some breaks, maybe a bass sample. So some of the core ingredients you need to make a tune. And then I'm just going to work from this sample pack, and I'm going to use mostly Amigo in Logic, and I'm going to see how I get on. So I haven't produced much actually. I had a bit of a break for about a month, so this should be a good challenge for me and hopefully a fun video. So let's dive right into it and maybe start with a pad is somewhere I always love to begin, and have two samples here I thought could be really cool. This is like a loop I made in Twisted Wave of like a lo-fi chord, and I have this one as well. Now I think I could probably put these two, I could pitch them and maybe play them on top of each other. It's something we could try to make it maybe an even cooler. So if I have chord two Amigos side by side and I get both of these sounds in Logic you can create a summing stack, and then if you actually just highlight the top stack you will trigger both at the same time. You can hear they're not in key at the moment. Oh, see, that's even closer. Ooh. So it sounds like -1. It's basically got it. Okay, I've got them too, but there's a bit of like a weird high pitched. I think it's coming from this. Yeah, it's got this weird stuff up there. So if I just cut that down, maybe get rid of the... And this can probably be the mid-range one. And then this other pad, if I just take this so off, maybe I have a bit more of this stuff. And so they should fit together. Otherwise, sometimes you just get like a massive... If you don't do this, your mid-range just becomes so huge right in the beginning. Okay, and then to make it a bit more natural, I'm just going to put a bit of release on, maybe 1.5 seconds, 0.15 seconds. Maybe even more, maybe like 0.5 seconds. So when I release the key, there's a bit of... And then I could glide them. You have a few options, or you can sort of put them on like a mono mode here. So whenever you press a new key, the last one, it sort of cuts off the previous note. I could even like detune them a little bit against each other. There's lots of ideas in here. I almost need a drum break just to give me a rhythm. This is kind of a crazy break, but it's got a good hat in there. Maybe I could program something a little bit different. And let's go slice mode, and I've got to actually come and put in... And then another snare here. Maybe make this a bit louder. Maybe a later snare. Okay. Okay, but now we're getting a bit of a groove together. And I can pitch this around. It always sounds kind of like it down there. Maybe I can make it a bit more crunchy. If I turn... Okay, so that's a good idea for drums. Let's just build out this. I think it's quite important to sort of see your idea through in the beginning. And this could have maybe... I could have a... like this. Sort of like a... and maybe with this other hat. Pull a bit more of like this weighty stuff, because this is where the pad's sitting, so I've got to make a bit of room, so it makes it a bit thinner, the break, but then I can actually get this pad in a bit fuller and still keep the mix sort of sounding good. 1, 2, 3, 4. Something like that. Okay, so it's a little bit. That's actually sounding a little bit cool. Okay. So a little bit original, which I kind of like. Just depends where we can go now. Bass, standard 808. One thing you have to sometimes do with bass is make sure it's actually in some sort of key. So if I press C, this one's actually miles off. It's like 3 semitones off. Now I have it actually even 1 off there. Now I have it in C. Otherwise it's really confusing to program your bass. And then put this in not slice mode, sample mode, poly, off, bit of release, so it kind of rings out, and then pull it down a bit. And we are in mostly D flat minor. So we can put our keyboard in D flat minor. That's actually not a terrible bass, just to get me going. Dun dun dun. And we're like. Because this is going 1 semitone up, so I've got to sort of follow what it does in the pads. Oh, that actually kind of worked. good place to start. The one but bass note's annoying me a bit. Oh, does it want to be all quantized? It's this one here. It wants to be like. Okay, so if you're having problems with your bass, a good thing to do is to like build it with your harmony and then try and make sure it's sort of working with the drums and then solo it with each of them, because that's really what bass is sort of, it's in between the sort of harmony and the rhythm is where you need to be. It needs to sort of support both what's happening in the pads and in the drums. And actually just getting something in that's simple in the beginning, kind of working, is a really good place to begin. Okay, so I've actually been making a new sample pack, and these ones from Twisted Percussion, it's basically taking sort of gong sounds and cymbals and then running them through the Akai and basically just like chucking them through loads of effects and seeing what cool. And I want them to sound all like they're in sort of 90s tune. So this is a forthcoming little peek into a forthcoming pack I've been working on there. And then maybe one thing you'd want to do is actually set up a delay send or two. We're going to keep it really simple and old school, so I'm just going to use like maybe one delay and one reverb. And if I was going to pick one delay for this style of music, it would be a dotted eighth note. So full wet there, so that's my delay, and maybe just have like a big reverb, one big reverb, about 5.5 seconds. Cool. One thing with the delay is I can just make sure it's got no low end in. Okay, that's sounding pretty cool actually there. Sounds awesome when I pitch it up and down as well. See that the thing why this dotted eighth note delay works so well is it sort of accents what's happening with the two-step rhythm in the drums. This is a little bit aggressive in terms of its level, and I also want it to like almost pan. If I go modulator, or I could put the delay in ping pong. Maybe that's cooler. And then it wants to be quiet, doesn't it? Okay. And then this would want to be a fill section in the drums here. Oh, hold on. Like this. I want to sort of accent this snare. There we go. And then okay, this is the same effect, but what we could do this time is maybe just change the color so I can see it's different and just pitch it down or up. Maybe pitch it down an octave. So I basically use colors just to show me like what the differences that are happening in these areas. See, this is a bit more of an kind of a flared fill. I also heard I could do something like this. And you can sometimes sort of have these like cool fill sections that actually go across the... a little bit different there at the beginning. Cool. Nice, next. If I could reverse this effect here. Change this. That's actually really cool. Even lower. Actually moved it off, but it's not so clear. Yeah, let's get something a bit more musical. If I go back in. Okay, actually play it from reverse, and then I want it to be like a shimmery, so no delay this time, loads of reverb, and then like cut lots of the low end out. And then I just layer it. And I can also play it up here. A bit longer release to make it. This would come in later. So we go touch with the automation mode, and then I can just then it has a bit more sort of life to it, and then I can copy that one over and make it go up. Cool. So there's a bit of like harmony coming in. Probably there. And take that off. And maybe I go. That's a bit better, isn't it? Okay, so I could, with the drums, what I could do is automate interpolation to come on here, and then I could filter them with this sample rate reduction, where I go, I want it to reset there, and I just sort of, oh, as you can go like this. And it wants to come back here. Nice. And then maybe with this one, what you can also do is do a reverse crash. So come in here, reverse it. You can reverse like coming into a drop like this, maybe. And not so low. So I want this to be longer. I kind of like the pitch of it there, with no much thinner. I could maybe do a ping pong loop. Like that maybe. That would be cool to send to a delay at the end of the. Needs one more vocal. Oh, we're 45 minutes. Okay, let's see what we can do. I have another. Yeah, we're like. It's kind of cool just going through. whatever's happening here. We've got a vibe going here. In an hour, you could pretty much make a tune from this, just like fleshing it out by just sort of developing the drums a bit more, especially dropping the pads out. I could maybe introduce like, maybe I'd actually just quickly see if I can do this in the last 5 minutes. And then no pad, or you could filter the pad, and then it would want to go like that, mate. That would be cool. Okay. No vocal, and then like maybe these are all pitched down. Here I could actually just bounce this whole pads group out and then have it like filtered. Or put it in like a different sort of space with an EQ. And in this section of bass, why don't I go and bounce it and put a distortion on, so every now and again we have like a cool distorted bass section like that, with no click at the end though. Maybe like this, and maybe you could have this coming like a slightly different EQ on it. So if I go and just put it on the same layer, and maybe I go and get rid of all of that, and then have it go sort of more sweeping more, maybe. Okay, so that's actually sounding pretty good, and I'm about an hour and 10 minutes in, so I had a 5-minute head start as well. But I think I did a pretty good job for quite a short session here. And one thing I was really trying to show, which I'm focusing on a lot in my productions now, is really controlling the mid-range. And like a lot of these elements, if you look at the EQs, I'm getting rid of like almost all of the mid-range in the vocals and the effects, and like because these drums are massive, even with this dip in the drums, they still take up a lot of mid-range, and as well as the pads, like these two elements, there isn't actually that much more space. Like if you look at where this frequency is, in between sort of 100 and 1K, I've like filled up that space in my track, and so pretty much every other element I'm not using. They're all being scooped out of that area, and it just makes everything sound a lot cleaner. I think a lot of my productions in the past always sounded muddy, which I'm sure some of you are struggling with. And a lot of it seems to come from just like having loads of mid-range, because it sounds warm and nice. So you feel like elements actually sound better with lots of mid-range in when you solo them, but in the context of a tune, to fit everything in, you've got to try and control it as much as you can. So anyway, I'll let this one roll out, and this is sort of my first video of the year, and I've got lots more to come. So yeah, I'll catch you soon, and I hope you enjoy this one. Bye.